Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in a pretty good mood today, not only because I have my nice little hat on, my sunglasses, but it's also WrestleMania week, guys. We made it. We made it to WrestleMania week. It's time. It's happening. WrestleMania 41 in Vegas this Saturday, okay? Now, I want to do my regular predictions for the pay-per-view. I've done it for the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber. We're continuing the trend on for WrestleMania 41. I just want to point this out as well. This is my new look from now on, all right? I wanted something to stand out. That's not just a generic face. So I got my glasses on that were in my closet, stuffed back there somewhere. Got my hat on with a smiley face. We're ready to go. My chair got a lot creakier as well. I don't know if you guys could hear that. It might get annoying throughout the video, but alright, anyways. Enough intro stuff. Let's get right into WrestleMania Saturday, starting with El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio. Now, El Grande Americano is a luchador hailing from the Gulf of America. Unfortunately, he hasn't been the most respectful to the luchadors within the WWE. A prime example being unmasking Dragon Lee. Which is something you could never do. That's a very disrespectful thing for luchadors inside the wrestling ring. And El Grande Americano thinks he could just come into the company just like that and just absolutely disrespect the art of lucha libre. But don't worry, because Rey Mysterio wants to put an end to El Grande Americano once and for all. I mean, El Grande Americano, he has done nothing good since he got here. Not only has he disrespected the luchadors, he also took Chad Gable's WrestleMania spot, WrestleMania moment. Instead of Chad Gable fighting Rey Mysterio asked Adam Pearce to fight El Grande instead. So not only did he disrespect the luchadors, he also disrespected Chad Gable. And I'm not here to stand with that, all right? I want Rey Mysterio to win this match, all right? I mean, this is outrageous how El Grande could just come in here and do whatever he wants. I think Rey Mysterio wins this match, and I think at the end of the match he does unmask El Grande Americano. A lot of people want this match to be a mask versus mask match, which would kind of cook, but obviously that's not happening because the last Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania just happened, and nothing like that happened. It's going to be a good match. This guy has a lot of similarities to Chad Gable. Obviously, Rey Mysterio, he still moves like an absolute beast in his 50s, so it's going to be a banger of a match. I don't expect nothing much from it. The feud has been alright. It's been better than some WrestleMania feuds that we're going to talk about a little later on. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun match. It's gonna be a fun match. I want Rey Mysterio to win this one. Next up, guys, we got Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Which, if you were to ask me how this feud would have played out at Elimination Chamber, I would have been like, it would have been alright, nothing special. But no, Naomi has been doing some of the best heel work of her entire career. In fact, I think she is the best heel on the women's roster at this moment. Okay, she's been doing a great job. As a heel, and Jade Cargill, she's the face. She wants everyone wants her to win. Naomi put her out of action for a couple of months, and obviously Jade Cargill wants that payback, and she wants that payback by defeating Naomi at WrestleMania. And I do think that's what eventually happens. Jade Cargill is someone who came into the company very hot, got the push with Bianca Belair and Naomi. They formed a little faction there before obviously Naomi did some dirty work. So I just don't see a world where Jade Cargill loses this. Her reputation, if she does lose against Naomi, would be a lot more shattered than if Naomi were to lose, because Naomi is a veteran at this point who can take a loss or two. Because again, this isn't going to deteriorate her work as a heel. I mean, she's going to be a great heel even going past WrestleMania, okay? Jade Cargill needs this win more than Naomi. Jade Cargill has not won a WrestleMania match solo. So this is definitely going to jumpstart her solo career, where I could eventually see her facing Tiffany Stratton for the World Championship, or Charlotte Flair, or whoever wins, which we'll get into a little later on. So yeah, Jade Cargill wins against Naomi, but this feud has been an absolute cook. An absolute cook. Next up, we got the first championship match I'm going over, the World Tag Team Championships, involving the War Raiders and the New Day. Now, the New Day has gotten a very good heel turn. They turned on Big E. No one was expecting that. Everyone hates New Day now, right? Everyone backstage, even the heels backstage at Raw, hate the New Day. And they're facing the War Raiders. Now, this feud was very, very, very quickly put together. I'm talking within the span of 2 weeks. Feud was built on a DQ, just normal heel shenanigans that any heel would do to any build at a pay-per-view. But it just got put together so fast that I think something else is going down at this match. I don't know what going down. There's gonna be something. There's gonna be something. This feud was put together so fast in a way where I don't think it was planned. I think that either Chelsea Green or the Street Profits or someone like that was going to defend their titles instead of the War Raiders. However, this is probably one of the worst feuds of WrestleMania. I'm happy for the New Day that they're in the tag team championship picture once again, but this feud is just not it. So I'm not that hyped about it. I do think the New Day capture the tag team titles from the War Raiders. Look, again, they're really good heels. They're the best heel tag team on the Raw roster. We need a heel tag team to hold the championship belts, and what better team to do it than the New Day? Next up, we got the United States Championship match, LA Knight versus the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Let's say a prayer to LA Knight, okay? Hopefully Jey Uso is including LA Knight in his prayers before WrestleMania, because LA Knight in no way, in no world, in no universe does LA Knight retain the U.S. Championship against Jacob Fatu. Okay, Jacob Fatu is a freaking monster. Jacob Fatu is not losing anytime soon, and he's definitely not losing to LA Knight, all right? Jacob Fatu just destroyed Braun Strowman, who just a few years prior destroyed Roman Reigns. So, look, Jacob Fatu is going to absolutely destroy the entire WWE roster, and I'm actually here for it. That being said, I think he dethrones LA Knight, and I do think Solo Sikoa comes out at the end to kind of set up a U.S. Championship feud between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa, where the new bloodline officially is demolished because of that feud. And Jacob Fatu will win that feud as well, because Jacob Fatu is never going to lose, okay? Next up, we got Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship. And look, guys, this feud's been all right. It's been all right. The feud hasn't been the greatest. I know the match is obviously going to cook, right? Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton, one of the best workers of the women's divisions right now, going at it for the first time ever. For the championship, it's going to cook. However, the feud has been lackluster. The promos between them have kind of felt off. They felt generic. They felt not natural. They don't have chemistry on the mics together. That's not to say they don't have chemistry in the ring, because I bet they do, or else WWE would not book this match. But the feud itself hasn't been it. I think Charlotte Flair dethrones Tiffany Stratton, though, because it's Charlotte freaking Flair, okay? It's Charlotte Flair. She's not losing to Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton's still young enough to get the title back and then some. Charlotte Flair, she's getting up there in age. She's at the downfall of the peak of her career at this point. She's getting that title, that championship to... Honestly, I don't have a real reason except it's Charlotte Flair, and she's not losing to Tiffany Stratton, right? Next up, we got the World Heavyweight Championship match, Jey Uso versus Gunther. Now, this feud, if you were to tell me just a few weeks ago how this feud was, if you were in the past and I was a time traveler, I'd say this was absolutely one of the worst decisions Triple H has ever made, making Jey Uso win the Royal Rumble. The feud has not cooked at all. It just felt like a WWE 2K Universe feud where an AI put it together, and it's just run-ins and ambushes after the matches and promos. That's it. But lately, though, is when the feud starts cooking, okay? Gunther was taking a bloodbath in Jimmy's blood while Jey Uso was zip-tied to the ring ropes, okay? That's the heel. That's the feud. That's the build that I want to see from both of these men, because that moment right there solidified this feud as from one of the worst feuds of WrestleMania to one of the best, okay? Gunther is depicted as the heel he should be. Gunther is an absolute maniac in this feud, and I absolutely am here for it. Jey Uso is the babyface. Everyone is behind him. He got a new neck tattoo just like Cody Rhodes. He's ready to win that World Heavyweight Championship from Gunther. Gunther's like the big bad guy that gets in Jey Uso's way. And honestly, because of how much WWE has put on Jey Uso's shoulders, because of how much belief that WWE has in Jey Uso to carry this World Heavyweight Championship match with Gunther, makes me believe that there's no way Jey Uso loses. Now, do I want Jey Uso to win necessarily? No, I don't. Even with the feud and how I, am passionate for Jey Uso after what Gunther has did to him, at the end of the day, guys, it's Jey Uso. He doesn't. His promos are mediocre at best. When you put away the yeet aside for a second, his matches are okay. I know they had this storyline where he was, failing his moves on purpose, but the first time that happened when he went over the top rope and failed, that wasn't on purpose. They just made it in a storyline to kind of save him because he's in the World Heavyweight Championship picture. But look, anyone with two eyes would know that the first one was not scripted. Look, Jey Uso is going to win. He's going to dethrone Gunther. Gunther's the final boss standing between Jey Uso and the World Heavyweight Championship. WWE has put so much faith in Jey Uso. It's going to happen, right? And Gunther's not going to necessarily lose anything from that either, because he is one of the best heel workers in the entire business. And even if he does lose to the underdog Jey Uso, who he beat 4 times in the past, at the end of the day, Jey Uso has, he made a valid point onto why it's believable for him to win. Considering he ditched the yeet gimmick, he is completely, fully focused on destroying Gunther because Gunther made it personal. So yeah, I think Jey Uso wins the match. And finally, the final match of WrestleMania Saturday, we got the triple threat match, the main event match, which could very much steal the show on Saturday. We got CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. And look, this feud has been absolutely cooking ever since, honestly, dude, ever since CM Punk returned, right? He feuded with Drew McIntyre, then he feuded with Seth Rollins, which ended, I guess, in Madison Square Garden in the steel cage match. But this feud picked up since the Royal Rumble, where CM Punk was attacked by Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins curb stomped Roman Reigns at the outside of the ring. This feud has been cooking, and they made it even better by having CM Punk's favor be that Paul Heyman walks with him down the ring during WrestleMania. Okay. Not only will this match has some of the best workers in the entire WWE business going at it. They all hate each other. And it's not a work either. They really do hate each other, at least for CM Punk's case. But in storyline-wise, everyone hates each other. Everyone has a reason to hate the other person. And I do think Paul Heyman plays a very big part in how this eventually ends. I think Paul Heyman could maybe be a distraction for Roman Reigns and CM Punk. And that causes, maybe Seth Rollins to pin Roman Reigns. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but Roman Reigns might take a pin from Seth Rollins, because I do think Seth Rollins wins the triple threat match because the other two, CM Punk and Roman Reigns, are so distracted on who gets Paul Heyman, who Paul Heyman likes. And I think Paul Heyman plays a pivotal role in the outcome of this match. And I do think Seth Rollins does pick up the W. Now we got WrestleMania Sunday. Now, before we get into the confirmed matches, I want to go over the Randy Orton match, because I still think Randy Orton versus someone is going to happen at WrestleMania. Now, this is before Friday, so the SmackDown before WrestleMania. This is before that. So I don't know the Randy Orton opponent, so I'm going to completely guess this here. I do think Randy Orton does compete during WrestleMania Sunday, because that's when he was scheduled to against Kevin Owens. And I do think that person is Nick Aldis. Okay, I think Randy Orton versus Nick Aldis is going to be a thing at WrestleMania 41. Some people may make the case Solo Sikoa because of last week, but I think WWE purposely put Solo Sikoa there to make people think that Solo Sikoa is going to fight Randy Orton. But in reality, it's going to be a complete shock, a complete surprise, a complete swerve when they announce that Nick Aldis is going to compete against Randy Orton. They have history together. Look, the history is there. The history is there, so it's just a matter of when they're going to announce it. Because, again, I think Solo Sikoa is just a distraction. There's also some theories where Nick Aldis can hire someone to fight Randy Orton. But, look, guys, at the end of the day, I don't think Aleister Black, which is, I think he's going to come after the Raw after WrestleMania. I don't think it's Aleister Black or Rusev, because I don't see any of those two taking the pin from Randy Orton on their debut back, because I do think Randy Orton wins. It's high time that Randy Orton wins at WrestleMania. He hasn't done so in years at this point. So I think Randy Orton does pick up the W for whoever he faces at WrestleMania. And again, I think it's Nick Aldis. Now on for the confirmed matches, starting with AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Now the feud itself is really bad. It's really bad. It's very generic. It's just, I don't see why they have beef with each other besides a few backstage moments where they confronted each other, but we don't know why. We don't know where this hatred between them came from. I think WWE are banking on the sole fact that Logan Paul and AJ Styles can put on bangers and will put on a banger. I think this match can actually steal the entire show. Not just Sunday, but Saturday too. Or actually, matter of fact, dare I say it, it may steal the whole year. AJ Styles and Logan Paul are some of the best in-ring performers in the entire WWE industry. Okay? So again, the feud itself, the promos between them, hasn't been the best, but the match is going to cook. And I do think AJ Styles picks up the W here. AJ Styles, his aggressive side came out when Karrion Kross faced him at Raw last week, or yesterday actually. Karrion Kross brought out the aggressive side of AJ Styles, and AJ Styles will pick up the win against Logan Paul. Next up, we got Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, and this is another feud, just like Jey Uso versus Gunther, where I wasn't expecting much from it, but this feud has gotten personal. We got the real glass stuck in Drew McIntyre's eye. We got eye patch Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre brawling it out every week. I mean, the feud has been cooking. This feud has been cooking, right? It kind of it gives me the vibes of LA Knight versus AJ Styles from last year, right? Where like AJ Styles broke into LA Knight's home, or was it LA Knight? I don't know. LA Knight broke into AJ Styles' home, something like that. That's what's this given me. And not only that, but there's a stipulation involved. We got the Sin City street fight. Okay, so it's going to be a street fight, which is going to make the stakes even higher, and it's going to make the match cook even more. And I'm super excited for this. Drew McIntyre, one of the best heels in the industry. Damian Priest, he's a good worker. He could put on a match when he needs to, and I think this is going to be one of those matches. I do think Drew McIntyre picks up the win here. It's high time he picks up a win. He starts a good winning streak here, and what better way to start the winning streak than to defeat Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight. So again, the history's there as well, right? Drew McIntyre lost the title because of Damian Priest's cash-in, so Drew McIntyre wants some revenge at the following WrestleMania. So yeah, I think Drew McIntyre wins this match. Next up, we got the WWE Women's Tag Team title matches. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. This feud has not been cooking. I can't even think of a single thing that made this match happen besides from a tag team gauntlet. There really has not been any history between these two to like warrant a tag team championship match. Of course, this match is going to cook. We've seen Liv Morgan when she's not fighting Rhea Ripley. I hate to say it. Let's be honest here. She has been cooking. WWE were pushing back on her, and she was just fighting Rhea Ripley. And Rhea Ripley during her women's championship run, we haven't gotten to see her full potential. But now that she's facing other opponents, Liv Morgan has been doing some of the best work of her career. Raquel Rodriguez is obviously a very good wrestler as well. Lyra Valkyria, she's up there. She's one of the best in-ring performers of the women's division as well. And then we got Bayley, who's a staple in the women's division, veteran. Lyra Valkyria, I feel like should have faced Bayley for the Intercontinental Championship, but maybe that could happen. Maybe Bayley turns on Lyra after they lose. And that sets up an IC championship feud between the two. But yeah, speaking of which, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, I think, win the match and retain the championships. Next up, we got the Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship match. Braun Breaker, Penta, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor. Now, all of these four, I could make a good point onto why I think could win. The feud has been excellent. There has been intertwining storylines that finally connect in this Fatal 4-Way for the IC Championship. Braun Breaker is a hell of an in-ring performer. Penta, we know Penta, right? Penta's a go. Penta's the go. What else is there to say about him? Dominic Mysterio, this is his first match not involving Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. And then we got Finn Balor, who, look, guys, he takes pins, but you can't ignore the fact that he's a very good in-ring performer. I think the person leaving WrestleMania IC champion is Dominic Mysterio. This will set up a feud between Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, which has been boiling for the past few months at this point. I think once Dominic Mysterio wins the IC Championship from Finn Balor, who, again, Finn Balor has been trying to get this championship for months as well. So when he sees that Dominic Mysterio, someone he believes is under him, win the IC Championship in the same match that Finn Balor is in, that's going to set Finn Balor over the edge, and that's going to be a feud that, and again, the Judgment Day is completely ended after that. Braun Breaker, he's been a great IC champion, two-time IC champion. He's going to win the IC championship again, but I think he loses it at WrestleMania. There's just too many other men that deserve it that does make more sense than Braun Breaker at this point. Penta is one of them as well, right? He's never lost a match, at least a single match, since he's been in WWE. That obviously does warrant a IC championship win, right? Because Penta, obviously, he's getting pushed. He's going to win the championship at some point. But again, I just think Dominic Mysterio, just storyline aside, right? Storyline aside, he's been putting in the work, right? He's been putting in the work. He's a very, very underrated performer in the ring. I think WWE are going to finally recognize him and reward him for his work by giving him the IC championship. Do I think Finn Balor Demon comes out? No, I don't. I don't, guys. I just don't see Finn Balor in his demon persona for this WrestleMania, unfortunately. Next up, we got the triple threat for the WWE Women's World Championship. And listen, all three ladies deserve the championship. Io Sky, one of the most underrated performers. Rhea Ripley, the most over performer. And Bianca Belair, she won the Elimination Chamber. She deserves to be in this match. Now, Rhea Ripley, she signed a contract to be in the match, but the contract still makes no sense because she literally just signed it and now she's in the match. She didn't win the Royal Rumble. She wasn't champion. She didn't win the Elimination Chamber. She just did. She just signed it. Boom. She's in it. So the storyline itself doesn't make much sense. Bianca Belair is in the right here. She absolutely deserves to be in the match with Io Sky. Io Sky won the championship fair and square as well. Rhea Ripley's making it the point where, look, Rhea Ripley didn't have to give Io Sky the championship match in the first place, which won Io Sky the championship. So Io Sky has to give Rhea Ripley a chance as well in the WrestleMania match. And I don't really get that point because Rhea Ripley, it was her choice. Io Sky's choice is she wants to fight the person who deserved it, but whatever. Besides the point, the match is going to cook. I think Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair are going to have some beef inside the WWE ring as well during the match, which ultimately costs one of them to take the pinfall and Io Sky to retain the championship. So we saw on Raw that Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair obviously have the beef. They are focused on each other more than Io Sky, who's the actual champion. And I think that's eventually leads to their downfall, and one of them takes a pin and Io Sky retains the championship. Finally, we have the undisputed WWE Championship match. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. John Cena, heel turn. No one expected the heel turn at Elimination Chamber. Kind of except for me, because I threw that out there in my prediction video that John Cena may turn heel. He may turn heel and side with The Rock, and that he did. But it was still surreal seeing that because I didn't even believe myself when I said that. But guys, heel John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. The build when John Cena was there, the build was fantastic, right? Especially the final week where John Cena was there. The promo between the two cooked. They both had valid reasons as to why they deserve the championship and why they hate one another. Guys, it's going to be insane. I think this is the match where Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out and helps Cody Rhodes. I think The Rock comes out and helps John Cena. It's going to be one of those WrestleMania 40 Night 2 main events where it's like, it's going to be hype. Every single second of it is going to be hype. Who do I think is going to win? I think John Cena wins his 17th championship. Not only is it the perfect time to do so in his final WrestleMania, but guys, let's think realistically here. John Cena is a heel now, okay? He's supposed to be a threat. Heels are supposed to be a threat. And what better way to build up this threat of a John Cena heel than to dethrone the current most over person in all of WWE, Cody Rhodes, and win his undisputed WWE Championship, his 17th world title. Guys, it's going to happen. I think John Cena wins the championship from Cody Rhodes with the help of The Rock. And honestly, again, there's another person in that faction. We don't know who, but it's someone. And I think that someone is going to also help John Cena win the 17th world title. And yeah, that's it. That's my WrestleMania 41 official predictions. If you guys enjoyed this video, want to see more, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.